high from this last weekend?
I think at some degree, yes, but refocusing for this week and the games we have coming up. So you celebrate and then you move on. So.
What was that final point like in Lexington last weekend?
Kind of like what just happened almost. It was really cool and it was a really good team win, so it was fun to celebrate for the 15 minutes that we had before we had to get ready for our next game.
What does this rivalry mean to you?
I think it just represents how great volleyball is in Nebraska. You got two great teams coming in, and then you have a lot of fun fans that just love volleyball and good volleyball, so it'll be fun.
I know Creighton's never beaten Nebraska, and as a senior, how much do you want to, kind of end on a high note and finally get that first win?
I mean, obviously that would be great. We're just going to come out there and play our game and then see what happens, and hopefully we come out with the win.
You mentioned your game. What is your team doing so well right now?
It feels really calm on the court, and that obviously leads to better play. So I think this team is really focused and calm, which helps a lot. So I think that's what I mean by our game.
How much are you looking forward to playing in what should be a very special environment in this arena tomorrow?
Super excited. Haven't done that. I mean, we played at Nebraska my sophomore year, but haven't had the home advantage since freshman year, and it was super fun. We broke a record, so I'm super excited for that atmosphere again.
What's in your experience, the key to preparing for 4 different opponents in a matter of 4 days? How do you
That's a great question. Take it one game at a time, and manage your time efficiently and watch film, scout, all that stuff. So taking it one game at a time and then going from there and focusing on the next opponent.
You guys used yesterday as a recovery day.
Yep.
Is it fair to say the mental side of it is more important in a week like this where there's less time on the court when you're not playing?
Yeah, I think the mental side is really important in all aspects. So being prepared for each game, and I mean it's a lot, and you're missing school, you're doing all this stuff, like you don't have that much free time. So I think mentally taking it, like I said, one day, one game at a time is really important.
Are you surprised at all with the way this team is really starting to gel so early on in the season, especially against such tough opponents?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily surprised. Our freshmen don't really play like freshmen, so that really helps. And then we all just really like each other, so we vibe really well on and off the court, so that helps a lot.
Do you know anybody specifically on that Nebraska team?
Oh gosh, a bunch of the girls went to my club. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of who all it is. I mean, I know them because they went to my club, but like I didn't play with any of them. So.
Would it be, any extra satisfaction if you were able to get a win over them?
Oh, I don't know necessarily that, but it's just cool that a bunch of Nebraska girls are playing at these high Division I levels, and so I think it's just exciting that we're all here and all came from the same club. I think that's really cool.
You got to help Coach Booth celebrate her 500th win. How cool was it to be a part of that and share that moment with her?
It was awesome, and it was great that it was the Kentucky win too. I think that's a really memorable one for her. So we love her, and it was awesome that we were able to do that for her.
You kind of talked about the mental sort of challenge of playing all those matches together. What about the physical challenges? What was it like to play 3 sets against Kentucky and then have whatever it was, 4 or 5 hours to sort of recover, and then have to, like, what were you feeling like? How did you get ready, and then what was the match like against Northern Iowa?
I mean, it's really nice to get things done in 3, so that was really nice. Yeah, physically and mentally, that was really nice to get that done in 3. And then just between games, you just recover and drink water, eat good food, take care of your bodies, work with our athletic trainer. So I think our team is really focused on that, so I think that helped us with the next game.
Were you feeling it in game 2?
Oh, yeah, you feel it. You feel it, yeah. But I think it's more like your adrenaline gets going, and then, like everyone's feeling that. Like that's their 3rd game at that point. So I think that's just a mental thing you have to push through.
2 more with Jaela.
What was last weekend like? How fun was it to knock off such a power in Kentucky?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, we went into the game thinking that we could win, and then just played our game. Weren't really focusing on the fact that we were playing Kentucky. We were just trying to play the best volleyball we could, and it worked out, and it was an incredible moment, and I'll probably never forget it.
Jay was talking about how things are just so calm on the court, and that's led to your success. I mean, how big of a role do you have in kind of keeping it calm out there?
I feel like pretty big, especially being libero. You just have to really make the first contact, and then everything goes on from there. And especially having so much experience on the court, I think that's helped a lot. Yeah.
This is going to be your first time as a part of this rivalry. What have you kind of heard from teammates about what this rivalry and just means to the state, I guess, into the program.
I have heard a lot about it. Pretty much everything is, don't like Nebraska, we can't do it. But I think it'll be really cool to beat them, hopefully. We never know. And I don't know. Just heard a lot about how Creighton's never won, and I think this would be awesome to make it. This is the year that it happens.
How much are you looking forward to playing in front of a huge crowd and playing on a stage like this?
A little nervous, I'd say. I've never played in a crowd this big. I'm used to, at my old school, there was maybe 200 people per game, so we'll times that by at least 1,000 here. So it'll be really cool. It shows how awesome the sport of volleyball is in Nebraska, that everyone will travel here just to see one game that could go for anywhere from an hour and a half to maybe 3 hours if it could. But overall, very excited, and I think that it will really just show how everyone works under pressure and all that.
But you faced Nebraska before.
Yes,
What
we
do you-
did.
what do you
We did
remember?
play,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you remember about it?
It wasn't close. I remember that. So this year probably we'll have a better chance.
Yeah.
That is why I wanted to transfer, to be able to compete more against teams like this and get a win like last weekend.
Right.
But
So
that's
was it like one of those situations where you're just like, oh my gosh, they're better than us, like we're
a
we're
little
in
bit.
trouble. Okay.
A little bit. We're that's a different level that we at that point were not at.
Right.
But it was really cool just to play against one of the best teams in the country. So that was pretty much the whole experience about going out there.
Right.
How much did it mean you guys were able to get Kirsten's 500th win?
A lot, actually. I don't think anyone really knew it was her 500th win until we saw a post about it in the locker room. Then we all afterwards went out, gave her a giant hug, and celebrated with her. And I think it's even cooler. That was, I think, the biggest win in program history. I'm pretty sure. But so I think that's just the way to do it for her. And she's an amazing coach and has just been very supportive throughout this entire season.
You guys kind of just been chomping at the bit to finally get to play in front of some home fans after starting the season with 2 weekend trips.
What was the
I mean, are you excited to play in front of Creighton fans?
Oh, yes.
After being on
Yes,
the
I
road?
am. We had our one exhibition match, and there was a pretty decent showing, but I think this one will be a lot bigger than that. And it's really cool to see all the fans going around, or we even had the golf outing, and people just know who you are, and that's just really cool to me. To say, oh, you're a transfer. Oh, hi, Jaela. And then it's just cool to see how much everyone loves, volleyball and Creighton around here.
I guess how have you kind of settled into the program, and what have just your thoughts been about it?
It's been pretty easy to settle in. The whole team's been super awesome and nice. The staff's been great, and it just has been an easy, smooth transition. Especially after 4 years, I thought it'd be hard to change everything what I'm used to come to this new place, but it's been super easy, and I'm really happy about it.
2 more with him. How much are you looking forward to tomorrow night and playing another third-ranked team in the country?
Yeah. I think we've got a really big week in front of us. Actually last week was really big, played some great teams. Nebraska's obviously a phenomenal team. And then we have 3 other good teams returning to our home court on this weekend. So we got a lot in front of us. And, this is why you do this. It's fun. I mean, we intentionally set up a really aggressive non-conference schedule. So I think we're all excited.
After what you guys did over the weekend and Nebraska's still finding their way, do you kind of feel like if there's a year to get them, this could be the year, this could be the team to do it?
I think we're all finding our way. As much as, we notched a couple good wins over the weekend, we're still feeling out a lot of stuff too, and I think Nebraska is. That's what the preseason's all about. So, I hope that we get better tomorrow night, and I hope Nebraska gets better maybe after tomorrow night. I think that's what you're always hoping, is that your non-conference opponents do really well. So, again, everything's about building our resume for the NCAA tournament, and this is another opportunity.
Were you surprised how well you took it to Kentucky on Saturday?
I was. Kentucky, I had texted some peers after watching them on Friday night and said, I think this is the best team I've ever seen in the non-conference schedule. Now, I think we caught them at the right time. On Friday night, they were unveiling their national championship banner. They had a full house. We catch them the next morning. So the timing was good for us. But I did think we played a really good match. And, I was surprised. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think they're a very, very good team. And that's going to be a really good win on our resume, no doubt.
How much do you enjoy playing against a John Cook coach team? I'm sure there's a lot of mutual respect between you two.
Yeah, when you've coached as long as Coach Cook and I have coached, a ton of coaches, so, Craig Skinner's a good friend, and Bobby Peterson at UNI is a good friend, so a lot of the coaches that we coach against at this point, if you've been at it as long, are friends, and you have a lot of respect, and, Coach Cook is a fantastic coach, and you know, we're excited to take on the Cornhuskers.
Kind of youth players, you know, imagine Sunday was the travel day, Monday was an off day, just to get ready for this grind to be like this week. You know, tomorrow night you have the number 3 team, then you got Illinois,
Well, our travel day is actually an off day, so we did give them an additional day off. So we gave them 2 days off this week. We gave them yesterday off, and then we'll go light. You know, I think as our staff talked about, our improvements this week will be via film or during matches. You know, there's not going to be a ton of training. We'll do some training, some prep for tomorrow, but really at this point, you know, our learning will be during matches.
Is this in a week like this hard for players because there's like scouting for events and all that
Yes.
sort of time?
Well, I don't know. It's probably hard for the players too, but it is chaos right now. I mean, it is spinning and trying to, you know, you want to be something that we really hang our hat on is that we will be overly prepared for every single opponent. And so we want to make sure we spent all day yesterday on Nebraska. We've spent all day today on SMU. We'll circle back to SMU tomorrow, circle back again to Nebraska, and then move on to Illinois after that.
2018, obviously, the fans broke a record here, 14,200. So on that note, what are you expecting? What can fans expect for tomorrow?
As far as attendance?
I mean, no, just like, you know, the matchup here. What do you want to give the fans?
Yeah, you know, I hope both teams play well. You know, I think, again, we're both a work in progress. But man, there's a lot of Midwestern talent, a lot of Nebraska kids, but you know, both rosters have kids from all over the country, but particularly the Midwest, and it really is a showcase. I mean, and then you look at what UNO's doing. I mean, I say this all the time, and then our D2 programs and our junior college. I mean, there's such amazing volleyball in this state, and I think you showcased that last weekend in Lincoln with UNO and Nebraska, and I think this will be the same sort of idea. And then we play UNO this weekend, so there's so much phenomenal volleyball over the these 2 weeks. And it's a testament to our high school coaches, our club programs. You know, we are building a lot of great volleyball players in this state.
Hey, Kirsten, is the secret out there with that? Like maybe in the volleyball, I don't know. You're tied into it. Do people know? I feel like sports fans here are like, yeah, Volleyball State.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, I think people nationally
Okay.
know we're a volleyball state, no question. Yeah.
I mean, but I'm trying to think. I mean, a nationally televised game like this, what does it do? You know, what's the impact of it?
Yeah, no, I think it's really big for our program, you know, because we obviously start at home, we recruit Midwest, but, you know, we would love to get that great kid from Texas or California or whatever, and as soon as you know, if you're playing on that national stage, national television, it's a big opportunity from a recruiting standpoint.
And Nora Sis is off to a tremendous start here. What have you seen from her? How's she been able to acclimate so quickly?
Yeah, I would say Nora's been better than we anticipated. I mean, we knew she was very good, but I think from a mental standpoint, you know, she has not been up and down. She's been perhaps our most consistent player. She's very low air. You know, if she makes an error, she can move on. All things that sometimes you have to train kids to do. You know, sometimes they're such perfectionists that if they make an error, they mentally break. Nora hasn't showed that. You know, if she struggles, she can get through it. And then she's physically very talented, really easy to coach. Yeah, so she's really done outstanding things.
What are you gonna look at the crowd tomorrow? Like, how do you capture or sort of like relish that moment, at least temporarily, before you get into game mode?
I would say 99.5% of it will be game mode. Just, you know, I mean, honestly, like when we were at home for that Iowa State scrimmage, that new video board, like people were talking about some mouse that came on going into the fifth game. I had no clue it went on. Like I am so locked in that I don't pay attention. So I think most of it will be like that. But I do try, when I was younger, I didn't do this as I've gotten old. I do try to take a moment and like, this is pretty incredible, you know, that we're playing on this stage, that these young women are getting the opportunity to do this. And I don't want to miss that this is really awesome and what an opportunity for all of us. we should be televising volleyball a lot more. I mean, we're seeing that by networks that are doing it. In the Big Ten, behind men's basketball and football, volleyball is the next highest rated sport. So, you know, if you are someone that's doing television, you should be showcasing volleyball. I think to a degree it's behind the trend, but if people get on board, the atmospheres are great. People love it's quick. I mean, there's so many good things. So, and I think the television production is getting a lot better. So, yes, it's important to be on FS1 because you're right, they do not do very much volleyball. But I think, you know, we're going to see more and more of that into the future because I think the ratings are backing it up. Well, I think they're going to serve well. I think they're going to pass well. I think they're going to be very locked into the analytics of the game. I think they, you know, do a very diligent job scouting, so they're going to be prepared for our players' tendencies, things along those lines. And then physically, you know, they're going to be a highly, highly physical team, and you see that with the number one ranked team in the, you know, recruiting class in the country. That their players are tall and athletic. I mean, you're not supposed to call girls large. You're supposed to call them tall. I've learned this over the years. So they're going to have a lot of tall and athletic players.